Hi everybody, Kathy here. So today we have to do our persuasive speech. I wanted to talk to you guys about sex education and teen pregnancy. And I think the biggest way that we can prevent having mothers that are still children themselves is, educating our young people. And in the United States right now, it's actually still pretty common that schools will use abstinence-based learning instead of doing like actual sex education where you teach the kids what is really going on and how they can prevent, being young parents when they're really not ready. The reason why I think it's really important is because we all know somebody who has been there, like my mom, for instance, had my sister when she was 17 and then had me when she was 20, and she fit right into the statistic. Like, unfortunately, it took her way longer to finish school. It took her a lot longer to accomplish the things she wanted to accomplish, but it's like a real problem everywhere. My first visual that I wanted to show you is actually from Time magazine, and it is children having children. It was one of their big issues about teen pregnancy. And, if Time is talking about it, then it's a big problem. So, one of the biggest things that I think we should talk about is that instead of teaching the kids, like, don't have sex, don't do that, like, it's bad, and, God's gonna hate you or whatever it is, it's just like, if we can educate them and let them know that there are ways to protect themselves and things that they can do to, further their education and do things that they need to do, I think that it would be a lot easier to get the message across. Just a few statistics that I wanted to read to you guys. It says almost 50% of teens never consider how pregnancy would affect their lives. And MTV actually came out with a show called 16 and Pregnant. After that show came out, the pregnancy rate has actually gone down in the United States, and it's just like evidence that states, the more that you put it out there and the more that you show people what can really happen if they don't properly protect themselves and, don't do what they should do, that'll happen. And it's crazy because you see a lot of these younger kids having children and they are completely lost. They don't know what's going on, and they never thought that a child was as big of a responsibility as the child really is. But that just goes to show that it's like, a lot of kids just don't think through the fact that that is a forever decision. Second thing that I wanted to show you is just a statistic here. It says 1 in 3 teens will get pregnant by the age of 19. So that is kind of startling, like you're in class and you have, look around you, and there are so many kids who just, instead of thinking about what they want in the future, they only think about the right now. And they end up getting pregnant. They don't know what to do with a kid. They don't think about the actual expenses of how a kid would, affect their lives. And they say that about 25% of teens that get pregnant have a second child within 24 months of having the first child. And, you know, one child's hard enough, but then adding a second child, you're just delaying, you know, everything. You can't go to school, you can't get, well, actually, another statistic that I think is actually really important is that after a teen has a baby, the chance of them getting their degree before they're 30 is 2%. So all the odds are against these women. And if we could just work with our school systems and let everybody know, like, we need to educate rather than shield the kids from this information, we could get a lot further. And it's all cycles. Like, the third picture I wanted to show you guys is an ad that they were running in New York City. And it says, "I'm twice as likely not to graduate from high school because you had me as a teen." That's a great message because a lot of times when teens have children, those children go on to do the same exact thing. And we just have to urge, our communities and our schools and our Board of Educations to really let them know, hey, I understand that we're trying to teach them that the safest way to be protected is just to not have sex. And that's great, but it's very important to also let them know that if they do have sex, they need to protect themselves, because not only could they get pregnant and really mess up their future, but there are sexually transmitted diseases out there. There are emotional consequences that go into having sex young. There's a lot of things that get wrapped up into that. And it's very important, because motherhood and being a parent is such a huge responsibility that I know there is no way that at my age, when I'm still going to school and doing everything that I have to do, that I would be able to incorporate that. Imagine a child who is still in high school. They're going through all those changes of, socializing and seeing how they feel, and just going through puberty. It's just too much to put on a kid when they're that young. And for everybody out there who does have kids and stuff, like, I've worked with Board of Education in Connecticut, well, Meriden, Connecticut, actually, about implementing a better program that is less abstinence based and more education based, because something has to be done. Like, changes have to be made, and they have to be made quickly, because I mean, birth rates for teens have gone down, but they're still pretty high, and it's still affecting a lot of kids every day. But yeah, if you feel the same way I do, and you have kids and you understand what I'm talking about, and if you care about somebody who's had a child very young, you should urge your local Board of Education to definitely make a change and start moving towards more of an education-based system. Anyway, it was very nice to finish up and wrap up our last speech. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful time continuing their education at Post or wherever you guys continue it. Good luck to you all. All right, bye bye.